Hi you guys, my name is Olivia. Thanks for joining me on my channel for another video. Today I'm doing my homeschool curriculum picks for my 4th grade son for the 2022-2023 school year. I can't believe those are the years. I can't believe that that is where we're at right now. My last curriculum video that I did like last September or something like that, it was like 40 something minutes that I edited down from like an hour of like coverage, and I'm a chatty person anyway. I'm really gonna try and cut this down, so I'm just doing my 4th grade sons. I am going to be doing my 5-year-old daughter. She's going to be a kindergartner, but she's doing 1st grade work, and then I'm going to do my family subjects after that. So keep an eye out for those videos. And I am going to jump right in. So if you watched my Blossom and Root science curriculum video that I have posted, I do a review and a flip through and kind of how I plan it out for the week. You guys will have seen this. This is Blossom and Root's Elementary Science Level 4, Wonders of the Physical World. We are not going to be getting to this right away in grade 4. We do science one week and we do history the next week. And so we move kind of like a half pace for both science and history. And we're going to be doing the second half of the Animal Kingdom, which is Blossom and Root Elementary Science Level 3. It's not 3rd grader work versus 4th grader work. They're about the same, or at least you definitely could modify it if you needed to. If you check out that video, and I'll link it down below in the description box, you can really customize this curriculum a whole lot. This is a secular curriculum. We are a faith-based family. I also discussed in that video how we make this work for us and why I continue to choose it. If you want more details on that, check out that video down below. All right, I also have a video on this. This is history. This is from the company Notgrass. This is Our Star-Spangled Story. This is elementary American history, and this is a Christian-based company, and the curriculum follows that faith as well. I go super in depth on this in another video, and I will link that one down below as well. Again, we go half pace with both science and history, so we'll be getting to the second part of this upcoming year. We're finishing up the first half of it. You could definitely make this work in a year. We just split science and history up like that for us in our home. This can be a literature-based curriculum. We do have the literature set for the second half as well, and we will be implementing that too. I really like this. It's bite-sized, and I have not found a history curriculum where I can open it up and agree with absolutely everything I see on the page. I like most of this. This, along with any subject and with any curriculum, if I find something that it contradicts really our morals or what I know or believe to be the truth based off of other resources and things that I've delved into with history, that's a basis for conversation in our house. So I always pre-read, and then I have my son read, so then when we do the discussions, we're on the same page at the end of that. So yeah, if you want more information on this, I will link that video also in the description box down below. To go along with history, if you had watched my other ones, any of my other curriculum videos, I also show the Memoria Press 3rd grade American History Supplemental Reading Discussion book. I love this. I bought it for the 4th grade. We're almost done with the 3rd grade books. This is really how my kiddo really loves to learn, and this is good for me because this is how I also love to teach and how I love to learn. I don't know if it's always going to be like that, and I don't know if my other kiddo is going to be like that when she gets older, but what it is it's a like discussion questions for a supplemental reading set. And there's, I think, 8 books in this one, and there's a couple more, I believe, in the 3rd grade one. I can't remember the number of books, but it's a good split between some fictional novels of figures or people that lived in these time periods, and then also a jump into kind of like some light biography work, kid appropriate. And it just follows, it's some stories of either real life figures or make-believe imaginary stories based in this time period, and then chapter by chapter. There's questions for each book, and then there's some discussion, and so we really love to learn through living books this way. I highly recommend these. I don't know if they have it for under... Love road noise. I don't know if they have it for grades less than 3rd grade. I will link this down below, but yeah, you'll definitely have to give it a check on your own. Memoria Press is a faith-based company, a Christian faith-based company. So a lot of the books have religious themes, which is something that's going to be kind of common in the American history scope. A lot of things and decisions were chosen because of you know, religion and religious differences. So I mean, not all of the books, like there's lots of books that I've seen in here that I've also seen on some secular book lists, like Hattie Woodlawn. I think Sign of the Beaver's in here. Yeah, but we love this. Something that I am horrible at implementing, and I have not yet, is a structured art curriculum. It's just, I understand and I know how important art is, especially for littles, and the way it like grows different, you know, things in your brain and your skills that you get, like your gross motor skills as well. And I think those are important. I'm not a creative person, so I don't automatically remember the significance of it, and I don't make time for it in our homeschool. I mean, I love theater and I love like acting and film and stuff like that. I love literature as far as art goes, but like hands-on, like sketching, painting, molding, sculpting, it's not my thing. And I don't want to leave a big gap for my kiddos. And so what I got was, this is the Memoria Press. This happens to be for the 3rd grade, but I don't really think it matters. This is the creating art for the 3rd grade curriculum through Memoria Press, and it is a structured art lesson. There's, art curriculum. There's lesson and projects. They have a full material list on here, and then there are several different lessons and then a project to go after it. So you're going to be using the color wheel and learning about color theory, and then there's projects in here. There's abstract, there's monochromatic lessons, portrait drawing. Let's see, there's an astronomy one. There is Mesopotamian art, prehistoric cave drawing, landscapes. And then there's some creative things in the back too, like I think there's something for Easter. It comes with some templates, and then it does come with some quizzes and tests if you like to do those and document those and keep those. So I'm excited to start doing this, and there's not a whole lot in this book, and it's approachable chunks for me where I feel like I'll be able to find a place and insert it in our homeschool days. I don't want to say this is an impulse buy. I've never had a vocabulary curriculum for my son. He is ahead in literature and reading and like comprehension, vocabulary, that sort of thing. I have just kind of found, like, in our learning where we place an importance on discussion and kind of like Socratic learning, that sort of thing, that the vocabulary just kind of comes up and we use it that way. I have seen this in a lot of videos though, and one thing that I also have not done for my kiddo in our homeschool space, I have not done a spelling curriculum. I have not done a structured spelling curriculum. I just haven't really felt the need, mainly because my son doesn't do a lot of hands-on writing, hadn't done a lot of hands-on writing up until like very recently. That was kind of like our struggle subject, and I didn't want him to hate writing, so I didn't push writing for a long time because he just wasn't into it. And we are going to be getting into a writing curriculum this next year. I am going to show you that. The way that this is set up are you've got vocabulary. It's used in passages, and then you answer questions with it. And I think seeing these words and then answering the questions with the words, that sort of thing, I think it's going to help with spelling. So not that I think my son's behind on spelling, but he brought it up. He was like, hey, how come we don't do spelling? Like, a lot of people do spelling. I was like, oh yeah, we don't do spelling. I haven't seen a huge need, but he is going to be writing more. So I want to kind of start developing that. And I think something like this might help us. We are not a workbook heavy family. I've tried, and I always want to buy all the workbooks, especially when I see the videos, especially all the Evan Moore stuff, and I'm like, that is so cool. My kids end up getting bored and it turns into busy work and there's no retention. I'm hoping that this goes differently. Okay, another blue. This is Singapore Math Primary Mathematics. This is the US edition. This is like the old school one. This is not to be confused with the newer Primary Mathematics 2022 from Singapore. It's not the same thing. I love this. We had tried, my son was always great with math. And then we did Saxon in first grade, and he was a year ahead in math. And then I pulled this out. I read up on it. And I'm like, I think this is like the way that for us math should be taught for my kiddo, my son. And we went to do like the first couple of things, and like everything that my son had learned through Saxon, he like just couldn't retain. And I was so confused because I'm like, he didn't struggle once. He didn't have any bumps during Saxon, but that spiral method just does not work for him because there was no retention. This is great. It's a mastery program if you're not familiar with it. This is old school, like lots and lots of people have used this. It's a mastery program, and we do not move on even if there's like another lesson or something coming up until he's mastered it. And there's there's an extra booklet you can get with lots of other practice work, but there's also lots of sheets in the back for you to utilize too and use that way. So I'm gonna finish this off and then move on to the next grade level. This last year we were using Memoria Press's the 50 states and capitals geography curriculum, and it's really sweet and it's nice. I am also going with Memoria Press again for geography this year. This is Geography 1. This is World Geography, and I think it's 2 or 3 years of World Geography through Memoria Press. The first year is the Middle East, North Africa, and Europe. So the way that this works, and I'm so sorry if you can hear my dishwasher in the back. That's real cool. I didn't realize that was a cycle that would turn on. Oh, now it's quiet. Okay. Oh, it's surging. So you got the student text, you have the student workbook, and you also have the teacher guide. So the way that this works is the student has the text, and when you open it up, you're gonna have some fast facts, so the capital city, population, the major religion, different landforms, the climate, that sort of thing, and then an example of the flag. You're gonna see it on like a micro map, and then you're also going to see a little bit of history, the headlines, and a tour of it today. So it's not a full in-depth history curriculum, but that is the way that you are learning this, is a little bit of how it was formed and kind of what it looks like today. I got this used because my gripe with Memoria Press is that it's expensive and you need lots of pieces for like every single subject. So here's the text, and you learn through here, and then you fill those out in the student workbook. And then there's some reviews in here in the back, and this is another one of my things. So when I said there's a lot of pieces to Memoria Press, this is the teacher guide. The teacher guide is literally just the student workbook reprinted and then the answers printed in it. And my gripe with this, well, and then there's like tests and some more quizzes and the answers and stuff. I feel like you could totally make it where there's like in the back of the book of like the student workbook, you have an answer key, and you could either like rip it out and keep it for yourself out of the book if you think your kiddo will be tempted to look back there. But like these books are the exact same price, and it just, where's the other one? And it just makes it expensive. Like actually the teacher edition is more. This is like $15 and this is $13. Again, I found these two used on thrift books, which is great. Memoria Press doesn't switch up editions a whole lot, so you can find pretty up-to-date stuff used if you need to. All right, here for language arts, I have the town level of Michael Clay Thompson's language arts program. Right here I have the grammar town, which is what you start out with no matter what level it's on. They suggest you start with the grammar. Once you've finished the grammar, you move on to the practice books. And then from the practice books, while you're doing the practice books, you can be doing paragraph town. This is the writing component. Hi, kitty cat. I also am pretty sure I picked up Caesar's English 1, which is the vocabulary that is part of this level, and I can't find it. I'm pretty positive I picked it up. My son is he's finishing up just the last couple of roots and stems of the building language with the island level, which is the vocabulary that would be similar to the Caesar's English portion of the town level, and that's his most favorite part of the whole program is the vocabulary. He's really enjoying it, which I think is really cool. So I did buy that for this next level, hoping that he would similarly enjoy it. I did only buy the parent manuals. Sorry, end of the day. I did only buy the parent manuals of both Grammar Town and Paragraph Town, and of Caesar's English, wherever it is. What we do is I just cover up the answers as we go down, and we do it that way because, like Memoria Press, my biggest gripe with MCT, Michael Clay Thompson's language arts, is that it's very expensive. Again, you can find some of this used. I have a whole video explaining a review and a flip through and how we use MCT here in our home for the island level. I will link that down below as well. Spoiler, I really liked it. I bought the second level for my son. And I go into more detail in that video for why I just use the parent copies for those, though I've heard from other people in other videos that for the third level, you probably may not be able to get away with only getting the teacher editions, and so I guess we'll see how that goes. All right, I saved these two for last. So, as I mentioned before, writing was like our headbutting subject, and it was hurting my heart, and it was frustrating him and hurting his, and I felt like I needed to do writing because everybody else was doing writing. It was one of those things, when you're looking at, well, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And they're like, okay, well, you need to be doing this and this and writing and this and this and this. And so I was like, well, I gotta do writing. And this was obviously before I realized you don't have to do all the things when they're little at first. Even though it's very tempting to want to do all the things and to try to make all of them work. So I feel really okay having left first, second, and even third grade without a structured, intentional writing program. I just do. I think it was the best course for us. And now that I kind of have a much better idea of how he learns and how he's receptive to me teaching, I think that I can fit in a workload of writing. Writing comes really easy to me, and I am good at it. I'm an awful teacher at writing. I don't get what the person struggling doesn't get when it comes to writing. It's one of those things where I can't figure out how to explain what needs to be done, and I understand that shortcoming, and I know that that's my weakness, and I am not best serving my kids by trying to be the writing teacher. So you guys, there's so many writing curriculums. This is the one subject that I really took forever looking into because I wanted to get it right. And I don't know if I am getting it right with what I picked out. I did pick up IEW's Structure and Style. This is 1A. I saw this the very first year that we started homeschooling. We're going into our fourth now. The very first year we started homeschooling, I saw this and I went to their website to check it out, and their website's the most confusing thing I've ever experienced in my life. I gave up. No, this is not for us. I can't even figure out your website. This is not for us. Which is too bad because I've seen examples and reviews of other people using this in their homes, and it works, and it's functional for them and their students, and they like it. So I'm going with this. I did not buy the forever streaming. I bought the DVDs for a couple reasons. One, I live surrounded by conifer trees, and when they were creating Western Washington, most of the power lines are not buried, okay? They're above. And so every other week when we get a windstorm, everything lands on the power lines, and our Wi-Fi goes out, and or our power. And so my son has a little portable DVD player, which is going to be perfect for this. I got the DVDs. He's going to be able to plug it in, put on his headphones, sit at the table with us so he doesn't have to go in another room with the TV on when I'm doing stuff with my daughter around the table. And I'm really hoping that this works out for us. So structure and style, it is a video-based curriculum where you have a virtual teacher instructing you. I just find that I think that this is going to be really intensive for him. Well, in general, our subjects don't really last a whole long. We kind of like do what we need to do and get through them. I've heard that you know, the videos can be a good chunk plus the lessons, so you're looking at, I don't know, maybe half an hour or 40 minutes for some full lessons, and so we're not really used to that. And I don't want to overwhelm him when this is already a subject that he is getting the hang of, just getting the hang of. So, gonna get through that. I'm not going to do, and what you're not seeing in today's video is the literature component or like literature reading. I don't have that here yet because I haven't decided which books I'm going to be doing yet, and I still need to make that video, the like literature guide review video. This last year I chose my own books that I wanted my son to read, and I bought from different companies some literature and comprehension guides to guide us through those books. And I definitely have favorites, and I have those that are not. Spoiler alert, Memoria Press is not on the favorites list for the comprehension guides. Love all their other stuff, not for their reading, their literature. I will probably not be reintroducing literature for him until maybe mid-October. My son is an avid reader. I can't keep a single book that's new on the shelf, besides his to-be-read pile, which gets bigger every day, but then shorter every day. We go through a lot at the library. We go through a lot of used books. He's not without literature, plus a lot of our other curriculums have a literature component in our literature base. So we're not going without books because that takes up a big part of our day where we, you know, discuss and analyze and go over themes and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to do that while he's doing writing. After I get a sense of where he is with IEW, if it was successful for him, how he felt with it, he's gained, I'm hoping he gains a little bit of confidence with writing, intentional writing. I mean, this kid can fill, you know, journals and journals full of like doodles and poems and short stories and creative passages and stuff like that. But I mean analyzing text and that sort of thing. I bought another writing curriculum. This is classical composition through Memoria Press. This is their like level 1, their Fables. I believe this is intended for 4th graders. Like, I think this is supposed to be 4th through 6th is for starting for this. It's also a video-based program where you have a virtual instructor on here. This suggests, I've already looked through it, it suggests that you do each lesson should take 8 days typically. If you've been around homeschooling, you know timeline are suggestions, not strict guidelines. So I'm ready to take as long as we need or as quick as we need, either way. Do not get confused, you need the video. You need the, like this is meant to be part of it. When I was looking at it, I thought that this was just gonna be supplemental and maybe helpful, and I was like, oh, well, I'll skip it since this isn't his first write. No, you need it. Again, Memoria Press is pricey, and I ended up getting the teacher guide used. I did buy the student guide new. This one I can see why they make it separate, because they explain, like they have this is what the student guide would look like, and then they have the rubric around it. So yeah, I hope that those work out. I just want him to have a little bit of confidence and a little bit of structure with writing. So those are the curriculum picks for my going into 4th grade son. He's 9 years old. I'm really excited this year for all of the picks that we did. Now that we're going into our 4th year of homeschooling, and I'm not assuming it's going to stay the same forever, but I really do have a sense of how he learns best right now, and I think that these are going to work out really well, and I'm excited to get into them. So again, keep your eyes out for my kindergarten / 1st grade curriculum picks coming up, and also our family subjects. If you guys have any questions at all with anything I mentioned down below, just go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And if there's a flip through of anything that you want a closer look at, I will do a more in-depth flip through of those. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this video, and I will see you next time.